3-1 Olathe as we head to the top of the fifth inning. John Beltran live from Denver. And the Beat Diggers have got to get something going against Jesus Suarez. They had their chance in the first inning when Suarez walked 3. The Beat Diggers scored a run, and Suarez threw 30 pitches in the first inning, but since then, he's thrown just 32 over the next 3 innings. And he's retired 5 in a row, 3 of those via the strikeout, so the Beat Diggers have regressed somewhat the second time around the order. And here's C.J. Kukas, who popped to center in the second. 3 runs on 3 hits for Olathe, 1 run on 2 hits for the Beat Diggers. And the right-hander Suarez, who's been throwing that changeup very effectively, delivers. Swung on in line into the right center field gap. That will drop for a base hit. And C.J. Kukas has had 2 very good at-bats. And the Beat Diggers now have their 3rd hit of the game. And it's the 2nd time in 3 innings. Actually, the 3rd time in 4 innings, the Beat Diggers have the leadoff man on base. Here's Brad Bass. The Beat Diggers center fielder popped to the first baseman in the first and walked in the second. The Beat Diggers have stranded 4. Olathe has stranded 6. The stretch. The offering. High with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Jesus Suarez gets the sign from Curtis Knoll. Kukas with a 2.5-step lead. And a step off. And the Beat Diggers have had base runners in every inning but the 4th. And now have 1 on in the 5th. Big lead for Kukas. Throw back to first is high. Kukas back in. Daniel Rubalcaba has a stolen base in this game. That's it. Roy Grauberger was caught stealing, trying to steal home. And that throw, boy, what a snag over there by Zupas. That ball was headed into foul territory, and he just snagged it off to his right. 1 ball and no strikes to Brad Bass. We're in the top of the 5th. Brush trails Olathe 3-1. The stretch, the offering, and that changeup is upstairs. 2-0 to Brad Bass, who has walked 13 times this year. And the offering, and that is low and away with a changeup, 3-0. Well, the Beat Diggers trying to counter Olathe's 2-run 4th with a rally of their own in the 5th. A nice afternoon in Denver. Light wind. Now C.J. Kukas getting some instructions from first base coach Bobby Guzman. Don't want to chance anything here. It's 3-0. You got the heart of the order coming up. And a very patient hitter in Brad Bass. A shorter lead. Scoring to bunt is Bass. And he'll take a strike on that changeup just above belt level. It's 3-1. C.J. Kukas led off with a base hit. Noel lays down the sign. Kukas has a pretty good lead over there. Got to watch that pitcher closely. Step off and a step out. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike to Brad Bass. The stretch. And Bass awaits. And he takes it in the dirt. Bass walks. That's the first walk issued by Suarez since the 2nd inning, his 5th of the game, the 2nd to Bass. And the Beat Diggers are in business. Runners at first and second with nobody out for Derek Lynch. We'll have a visit to the hill. Lynch in the game has walked and scored and popped to center. And straight up at 2 o'clock, this is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, and Windsor. I'm John Beltran, live from just off the campus of Match Bluff High School in Denver for this district tournament semifinal. And Brush trails Olathe. The Beat Diggers are the 19th seed, trailing the 14th-seeded Pirates. 3-1 in the top of the 5th inning. Brush has runners at first and second and nobody out. Earlier today, the 3rd seed Match Bluff was stunned and eliminated by the 30th seed Colorado Springs Christian one, just their 9th game of the year. That was a 5-3 final. Match Buff was the 3rd seed and the 17-win team going into that one. But in a single elimination tournament like this, that can happen. Lynch is scoring to bunt. The pitch, and he lays it down up the third base side. That's a good one. It'll be fielded by the catcher. Throw to first is high, and down the right field line. Rounding third is Kukas. He will score, and they're sending Brad Bass as the ball gets loose in right field, and he will score. Headed to third now is Derek Lynch to throw the slide. He's in there, and that ball gets away down the left field side into foul territory, and Lynch will score on 2 errors, and the Beat Diggers now lead 4-3. Holy mahungus. Wow. Well, I'm not sure if that'll be scored a hit for Lynch and then 2 errors on the play. But an error on Noel, and then the other error trying to nail Lynch at third base. And here comes Roy Grauberger. We'll give Lynch a base hit and 2 errors. And Brush now with the 1-run lead. Grauberger has walked, and he's tripled. Roy hitting over 500 now. Yeah, that Derek Lynch bunt was a beauty up the third base side. And Noel had to go several steps to his left in order to pick it up. The pitch. Change up is upstairs. So the Beat Diggers with, we'll call it a couple of hits in the inning and 2 errors committed by Olathe on that play. The offering, change-up swung on and missed. Count is level at 1-1. Well, this game has turned around in less than 8 pitches. From 3-1 Olathe to 4-3 Brush. Change-up has popped up and out of play. Count at 1-2. Morgan Medical will take care of your sports medicine needs. They also offer back braces, walkers, canes, medical alert bracelets, home oxygen equipment, and much more. Morgan Medical, 201 Main in Fort Morgan. The wind and the 1-2. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat to the screen. Count remains at 1-2. The inning began with a C.J. Kuka single. Brad Bass then walked. And then on the first pitch to Derek Lynch, he laid a beautiful bunt up the third base side. The catcher, Curtis Noel, threw it away into foul territory down the right field line. The offering upstairs with a changeup. And then, as both runners scored, Derek Lynch took off for third. That throw got away into foul territory up the left field side, and he scored. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Grauberger, swung on and fouled off to the left. Yeah, Roy appears to be the only hitter that, other than C.J. Kukas, that has a real beat on this right-hander, Suarez. And oddly enough, maybe not oddly, maybe coincidentally enough, they both left-handed hitters. 2-2. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat to the screen. It remains at 2-2. To Roy Grauberger. Noel lays down the sign. Grauberger closes up that stance. And he awaits the 2-2 pitch. Very high and away. 3-2. Yeah, 32 pitches between the second and fourth innings. A great job by Suarez, but now in significant trouble in the fifth. A payoff pitch to Grauberger, and he swings and pops it foul and out of play. And this is going to turn into a minimum of a 10-pitch at-bat to Roy Grauberger. District championship game slated to start at 3 o'clock. We know that will never happen, because this game's only in the fifth inning. The pitch in the dirt with a changeup, and Grauberger walks. That is the sixth walk issued by Jesus Suarez. And here comes Arturo Maltos, who walked in the first and struck out looking in the third. So Maltos officially at 0 for 1. Grauberger's got tremendous speed at first base. Let's see if he takes off anytime soon. The pitch swung on and popped off to the right, headed out of play. Supas gives chase, but it is out of play off the top row. Maltos came into the game hitting .328, 2 homers and 14 RBIs. This is the second time in the game the Beat Diggers have led by a run. It was 1-0 Brush after half an inning. The game was deadlocked at 1 after 2. And Match Buff scored, check that, Olathe scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning for a 3-1 lead. Now the Beat Diggers have countered with 3 in the top of the 5th. So 4-3 Brush with nobody out and a man at first in the top of the 5th inning with Arturo Maltos inside the batter's box, an 0-1 count. And the right-hander Jesus Suarez gets the sign, a short lead at first. And Maltos awaits. Squaring the bunt, lays it down the third baseline. That's the beauty. Maltos probably will beat that out. Throw to first is late. Well, the third baseman, Colby Coy, did everything he could do. But with Maltos' speed, no way he was going to throw him out. The Beat Diggers now have 3 hits in the inning and 2 outstanding bunts. And here's Sam Guzman. Guzman with a sacrifice fly in the first, drove in his 18th run of the year, and then popped to first in the third. First and second, nobody out. The stretch and the pitch. Changeup is swung on and driven into deep left field. That ball's got major carry into the gap to his left, and it falls in between the left and center fielder. Rounding third is Grauberger. He's going to score. Maltos right behind him. He will score on the 2-run double by Sam Guzman. And the Beat Diggers have plated 5 runs in the top of the 5th inning, and now lead by a score of 6-3. That ball stayed up there for a while, but hit right in between the center fielder Zane Prosser and left fielder Davey Rhodes. And that might be it for Jesus Suarez. It will be. Let's take a 2-minute break with the score. Brush 6, Olathe 3 in the top of the 5th inning on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.